Hello everybody, my name is James Parker. I'm here to tell you guys about Stalin. So the other speeches were a little lighthearted, but it's actually pretty grim, to be honest. So we're going to talk about 5 things that Stalin did really, I guess, badly. Number 1, I mean, it's going to be about his life. And so number 1 is when he was younger, when he was born, where he was born, and then his college years, and then his rise through his party, and when he was a dictator, and then what he did with all that power. So let's get to it. I want you to imagine your whole family, all of them, and then all of your friends, that's Coke by the way, and then all of your student peers, all your followers on Twitter, all dead. That's what happened. I'll multiply that by 500,000, and that's what happened. So you get about 200,000, I'm just guesstimating. So that's what Stanford believes is about the number of his death toll in communist Russia, but it could be anywhere from 20 million to 60 million. There's a lot of speculation about that. So this is the man that did it. His name is Joseph Stalin. He was the communist dictator from 1922 to 1953. He's a very bad man. So let's start out with where he was born, and he was born in a little place called Lori, Georgia, right there, which at the time was a part of the Russian Empire, right here at the very bottom, next to the Black Sea. And this was his name. He was born Iosif Vissarionovich Zhukashvili, and this is the youngest photo we have of him. He was a born Georgian, and he always had his Georgian accent until the day he died, 1953. These are his parents. He has Vissarion Zhukashvili and Kiki Delgazi. And so Vissarion Zhukashvili is a very interesting character. He is a very abusive father. He didn't spend a lot of time with his child, his only surviving child, Yosef. And then his mother is Kiki Delgazi, and she was actually the loving figure in his life. His father would often beat him, and it just comes to show that you shouldn't beat your children. So this is him in his college years. He was going to go to a university in Georgia and pick up some books and read them, but he picked up the wrong book. And he began learning about the means of production. And so he changed his name after a long time. He wanted to look more intimidating because he was about 5'4", which is about here. And so he changed his name to Stalin, meaning man of steel. And he joined, it looks pretty similar, right? He joined the Bolshevik Party. This is their symbol. And obviously the hammer is for industry, and the sickle is for agriculture. These are the big 3 in the party. So we have Leon Trotsky is the brain, Stalin is the muscle, and Lenin is the face of the party. He's the runner, Lenin is. He was the first dictator before Stalin took his place. And then Stalin had Trotsky killed. It's a wonderful family. He became very horribly paranoid at the end of his life, but he was paranoid for his whole life, but he really only did anything with it when he had a ton of power. And Guided History believes that it has something to do with his abusive childhood. His father died when he was a very young age, and his mother after he was in college, but it still shook him a lot. So he believed everybody was out to get him. He was very obsessed with his image, again being about here. He was very obsessed with his image about looking like a tall, strong leader. He had a gimp arm from a factory accident. And so it was very important to him to look as tall as possible. He had lifts in his shoes when meeting with like FDR and Churchill. He tried to stay sitting for most of it so they can actually get a good read on him. He was very sadistic. This is a picture of someone he didn't like in the photo, so he photoshopped them out of the photo because he liked it so much. And he sent him to the Gulag where he just had him flat out executed. And so the Gulag is the Glavno Aplaveli Isplavetel Lagieri Gulag, and that was formed by Lenin. And they were prisoner of war camps and prisoner camps and all kinds of camps, and they sent you to die there. This is not the Holocaust. This is just Russians in Russia. It was bad. He killed about a lot of people. So they were labor camps. They were forced to build a lot of stuff for Stalin. They remodeled a lot, basically, and it was in the worst parts of Siberia. It is estimated, BBC estimates, that there's way more gulags than it shows up here. Each one of these little symbols is a gulag. And these ones here in eastern Russia would be the worst ones because it's Siberia, and it is cold enough to freeze oil and engines in Siberia. And he was a very bad man, if you cannot tell. Thank you.